You never listened to Radiolab because it was annoying to you, right, Erin?
No. Wait, Radiolab? No. Wait, Radiolab?
Wait.
Hold on.
No. Wait.
No.
Radiolab?
Yes. Yeah.
That's kind of what it sounded like.
Hold on. Hold on. This is Radiolab. That one? Yeah. No, it didn't.
Hello, and welcome to Way Too Broad, a show and tell program for really, really ridiculously excited grown-ups. I'm Hannah, and these are my co-hosts, Erin and Ben. Hi, Erin.
What's up, Hannah? What's up, Ben? Ben's
waved.
waving. Yep, Ben waved him.
Ben, are you not going to speak this episode?
Nope, shaking his head.
What if one of us needed to take a week off for whatever reason, and we all just decided to play around it as if they were there doing a bit the entire time?
I love that. Or if, like, Ben dies, we could just keep going.
Yeah.
Ben just laughed. Oh, Ben, you're still on mute, buddy. He's figuring it out. Oh, he's shrugging his shoulders. He's making the, I don't know what's going on gesture. We'll get back to you.
He's just doing his classic Ben stuff.
You know him. He's just on mute because he's chewing ice. We'll get back to him in a second.
So I have to warn y'all up front that Jack is in here this week.
Oh my god.
Nice.
That's not nice.
I love that for us.
He was sitting in his little box next to my desk, so nice when I came in here. I didn't have the heart to kick him out.
You know he's gonna cause a scene.
Yeah, he probably will, but he's not in his box even. He's just sitting by the door, so that's not promising, but
he's getting ready.
I asked Ian to take Jack out because he's making a scene duty, so we should be fine.
Excellent. That's a good producer job for Ian.
Yeah. All right, what are we drinking? It's a Silly Friday episode of Way Too Broad.
Sure is.
Oh, and we are in introduction order this week. Congratulations to us.
Congratulations to us.
So, what am I drinking? I have a plain, simple, classic glass of water. I got a little hung up on the word classic because of Classically Abby ruining that word. Like, it's out of my vernacular forever.
Who?
Ben Shapiro's shitty sister.
Yeah.
Why? I'm not aware of that reference.
Do you not get the YouTube ads for her?
No.
Wow. How?
Wow, so lucky. I feel like everyone in the world gets them.
No, I don't. I get a lot of. We've covered. I get the colonoscopy. I get the make your testicles bigger and heavier. But I've also recently, because I've been listening to so much music in the Spanish language, I've been getting just straight YouTube ads in Spanish, no subtitles. They're like, "You speak Spanish? Here you go." And I'm like, "¿Dónde está?"
For like as long as I can remember. Not as long as... Yeah, no. My Hulu account gets a lot of ads in Spanish. And I don't know... I think at first it had to do with the fact that when I first made my own Hulu account that I actually paid for, I was living in Southern California. But I don't know why it's stayed like that. Especially Verizon ads, I feel like I get in Spanish a lot.
Yeah, I definitely get Verizon ads in Spanish sometimes.
I got one for LG. It was actually great. I turned the captions on and watched the whole thing. I thought it was a movie trailer until the end. I was like, I want to watch the fuck out of this movie. But then it wasn't a movie. It was an ad the whole time. I guess I saw the whole thing.
Wow.
So what is this? What is this ad that I'm missing out on? I feel like we're jinxing me. I feel like that's like the only YouTube ad I'm going to get from now on.
Oh, I wanted to tell you about ads. So this is ridiculous. I recently watched this really good video about how awful Tony Robbins is. There's a creator I like named her name on YouTube is Mooncat, but it's Mune cat, and she does like these long form kind of like exposés or just like explainers with like a ton of research to them, but she delivers them in a very entertaining way, and I enjoy her tone and her production value and mostly everything about her. And she did like this she's doing a several part series, or at least 2 parts, on Tony Robbins, and only the first part is out. And he sucks real bad. He's a super misogynist and overall bad dude.
He's like a motivational speaker type, like he's very tall. He's
very tall. He's got a ridiculously deep voice.
Very tall? Is that like a thing about him?
He's very tall.
He's like a giant. He actually has some kind of condition, I think.
He's
like, I think he has
6'7",
like,
Ben.
the thing that...
I mean, that's tall, but like...
like the thing that Abe Lincoln had or whatever, where like if you don't get it under control, it can kill you really young. Like, you know, where you just keep growing and never stop. I think he
has... Is it getting shot by John Wilkes Booth?
He had a growth spurt attributed to a pituitary tumor.
Oh, that.
Ooh, that's so fun to say.
That's different. Pituitary tumor.
Pituitary tumor.
That's so fun.
Anyway, now I get ads for his motivational speaking gigs, and I think that's the last thing I want. Say
Abraham
Links. Abraham Linky.
But she's just Pituitary Abraham.
No, I think he had something else. I don't think he had a pituitary
I'm googling
tumor.
Pituitary Abraham.
Pituitary tumor. Pituitary pituitary.
Anyway, just to all the way circle back on the longest "What am I drinking" segment ever about water. Classically, Abby.
Tony Robbins.
Wow, we're still on water.
Yeah. We were really Shallow Hal. He was in Shallow Hal.
He's terrible. Everybody should watch it. I will link to the video because it's a very good video. It is long, but if you got the time to kill, it's really entertaining and very definitive on the fact that Tony Robbins sucks bad. So classically Abby is Abby Shapiro, or actually that's not her last name, I think, because she's married, but she is Ben Shapiro's sister.
And she would never keep her last name when she gets married.
Because she's too classic. It's very classic to take your husband's last name. So that's kind of like the vibe is like, why do I dress modestly? Oh, because I'm classic. Oh, you're also classic. Like instead of being why
do I believe women should be subservient to men?
Ew.
Classic.
She's like oh, and she's got this whole like thing. One of her videos is called "Why I Came Out as a Conservative Influencer."
Oh my god.
And she talks about it like
we all knew.
She's co-opting coming out, and I don't appreciate it.
Yes, it is like she speaks on it like they're being oppressed for being conservative. She's that type, just like her brother, except less. They're equally annoying and unengaging, but in different ways. So anyway, she has dumped just. I mean, I can't even imagine how much money on getting into people's ads on YouTube, like into the little ad slot. It's like for a while there, and then again recently, it was like I thought impossible to escape her. Apparently, you did, Erin, but like she was in everybody's and it was like whatever targeting they were doing, it was not like it was. Most of the people who were getting them did not share her politics and did not care to hear from her. And but no matter how many times you clicked, I'm not interested in this. This is not relevant to me. They would just keep coming and coming and coming. So eventually I and a lot of other people just started going to the videos that came up in the ads and disliking them to try to get her to fucking stop doing it. And maybe that worked, or maybe she just stopped spending money on the ads for a while. But, it was very annoying. And
wow. Yeah,
I also because I was seeing her ads so much, I thought she was a huge channel. She has less than 100,000 subscribers.
Wow.
Yeah.
and gets like less than 10,000 views on her channels usually.
Wow.
And so it's just like, what? I don't know. Like, she gave the artificial, because you know how like YouTube ads, especially when it's an advertisement like for a YouTube channel, it can sometimes be hard to distinguish from just like a recommended video on your, like, especially on your phone, and you're just like scrolling through YouTube.
Yeah.
And I truly thought for a while, I thought I was just getting recommended a bunch, not that they were ads. Mm-hmm. And so I was getting the impression that she was like trending all the time. And I don't think she ever is. She just dumped a bunch of money into ads.
I just have a really beautiful niche YouTube curated. Like, my home video screen is just wonderful and very, very good to me. So,
wow.
I don't know whether it's just like all the gay shit I watch, but I've steered clear. I wonder if it's a device difference. That would be weird, huh?
I don't think it's the gay shit, though, because I also watch a lot of gay shit.
Yeah, you really do.
She was not filtering out for gay shit, trust me.
Yeah, I don't think it's gay shit. I actually honestly don't have an explanation.
Let's see what my first YouTube ad is. Affirm. Make it easier for customers to say yes with Affirm's flexible payment options.
Okay, let's do this. But then we got to find out what Erin's drinking. Holy
mine's
shit.
Domino's Pizza. Which
Mine's HelloFresh.
Never gonna get. I get this HelloFresh. So is it an ad that plays when you watch a video, or is it just in your timeline?
It's like in the timeline. It's like
okay.
It's like
I like totally ignore those. So
the ones that are specifically designed. No, but it's like the ones that they just look like a video in your home on your homepage.
Yeah.
So how can you ignore them?
I've just never seen it.
Okay, have you looked her up, Erin?
No, I'm afraid to. Absolutely not going to.
Do it on an incognito browser. I wonder if you saw one of her thumbnails, if you would realize she has been on your homepage then.
I don't even trust incognito.
All right.
Send me a picture. You Google it and you send me a screenshot.
All right, here, I'll send you her...
I don't want to get, like, whatever this STD is on my phone.
All right, while I do that, Erin, tell me what you're drinking.
Okay, I'll tell you only, Ben. Please take your headphones off. I'm drinking a lemon lime seltzer, I'm drinking ice water, I'm drinking a decaf coffee from this nice mug Molly got me for my birthday. Oh, it's nice. It's like a nice ceramic mug. It says, "Hello, sunshine." No, it says "Morning sunshine."
It's very cute. Happy birthday again.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you.
And
all right, here are some of the ones you would have seen.
At least one more.
And
I'm sending them to you now.
Ben, what are you drinking?
I got 2 waters. One and a third.
1 and a third. No, nope. Never, ever, ever. Never, ever.
Amazing.
Never have I ever.
Never should I ever slurp water like that in my microphone, or it was good.
Both.
No,
unless someone tells me it was bad, I'm going to do it again.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yep. Nope. Never seen those. Thank you.
No, Ben, I sent her the screenshots.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Ben, what are you drinking? Oh, we already went through that. Water.
You want me to say it
please.
again?
Let's not
I drank a lot
again.
of it into the microphone.
Water. Do you guys want to hear something cute as an upfront? Molly refers to my Switch as my Nintendo. Don't you guys think that's really cute?
I love that.
Yeah. Recently, that came up because she was trying to use the counter space where my Nintendo is plugged in for something else, and she was wondering if I could relocate my Nintendo. And I was like, yes. So shout out to Molly. This is the first she's hearing that. I think that's really cute.
That is so cute. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. Do I have any upfronts? What did we talk about last week? Do we have any emails? Erin, have you checked?
Oh, I didn't check. Did we even check last week? Whoops.
I think I might have checked last week. No. Oh, we got a new comment on YouTube.
Oh.
Okay. From Sophia Newman. Sophia says 0:51 fawn.in.net.
Ooh,
not gonna click on that. Nope. Gonna go see if this account still exists real quick. Wow, she has 3 subscribers. That's weird.
How does that happen? for those accounts.
I don't know. Wow, she sure does comment on a lot of videos with different URLs.
Ben, did you listen to Mystery Show? Not to call you out.
No. I started to, and then, man,
Life
you know what happened, actually?
happens.
Can I tell you what happened?
Yeah.
I
Please.
started to listen to the first episode, and she mentioned DB Cooper. And
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I haven't heard of DB Cooper. And
Yeah.
so I spent like an hour or more reading the entire Wikipedia article about DB Cooper and then other things related to it, including like all the things at the bottom about who possibly people think DB Cooper is or was.
Yeah.
So that happened, and that was like kind of in the middle of a work day. So like I was like, okay, I should get back to work now.
I love that. I got into a DB Cooper wormhole because a song by Doomtree that I like a lot. I think I brought. Did I bring Doomtree as an obsession? I brought Dessa as an obsession for sure. And she's in the hip hop collective called Doomtree. Anyway, one of their songs mentions DB Cooper, and I was like, "Who's that?" And went into a similar rabbit hole.
I've
I
heard
think
of
it's
DB.
fascinating that the DB Cooper thing, the name DB Cooper, is not the pseudonym that he used. The pseudonym he used was Dan Cooper. And then there was a person living in Oregon, and the whole thing happened out of the airport in Seattle. There's a person living in Oregon whose name is DB Cooper, who, like, a journalist, like, went to their house first or something when they heard about this. Basically ended up getting reported by the mistake of this one journalist getting confused about, like, mixing up the name of this person that he heard lived in Oregon and the person that, like, the pseudonym that the hijacker used. And then a bunch of other outlets picked it up, and then it just, like, lodged in our societal memory
Wow,
that the name was DB Cooper.
Wow.
that's cool. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
I didn't know that either.
So that just goes to show you I did read the DB Cooper Wikipedia page.
Proof. Receipts. Well,
Anyway.
cool. Well, listen to Mystery Show. That's the real thing. She mentions DB Cooper like I feel like it's the very beginning of the first
it's
episode.
like one of
Yeah.
the first sentences of the first episode. I'm telling you, like, I listened for a minute and was like, what's DB Cooper? And then was gone.
Ben's got a curious mind. It's not his fault.
Which, like, makes me think I'll like the show.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure I'll like the show, but I was just like, I need to learn more about DB Cooper.
Yeah, you're a guy who likes a mystery, so who wants a
Yeah.
mystery solved? So there you go.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I was looking at
Okay.
what we talked about last week besides Mystery Show.
Was it not DB Cooper?
No.
We talking about
What's
Mystery
mine?
Show.
What?
You talked about the carpet cleaning videos,
Oh,
of
yeah,
which I
okay.
watched several. Ben talked about who fucking cares.
Ben talked about
Ben talked
stand-up
about
maths.
stand-up maths. That's right. Even though his real passion was Stardew Valley, this has been the last episode recap segment.
Yeah, I don't think I have any other
Oh, you spelled La Forcade wrong.
what?
In the description, you wrote reminder from last week. Watch Natalia Lafourcade's Tiny Desk concert, but you wrote La Forcada.
Oh no.
Oh, well, I spelled it right on the episode where we
That's true,
actually
you
talked
did.
about her. So
You did. You did.
Yeah.
Hey, can't argue with that because it's a fucking fact.
I looked it up every other time, but I didn't look it up that time. So sue me.
one other time.
Wow.
I had to write it in several places. I had to write it in the topic index. I had to write it in descriptions. I had to write. I do a lot of behind the scenes labor for this show. Okay.
All right.
Am I
Don't
right?
worry, we can fix it.
Yeah, we can fix it.
gonna
I'm
post
not
this
gonna fix it. I feel I've done enough, so I'm gonna like.
She stands by that.
Yeah. I guess one thing is I want to give a shout out to a group of people that I've somewhat mentioned before that have been really bringing me a lot of joy this week, and maybe we may get one or two people listening from this group because I did post about it in the Discord. But there is a group. Well, okay, so my friend Matt has been streaming for a few months now. He now has joined as a mod on a Discord called Team Unmay, which is a Pokemon Discord, but I don't participate in any of the Pokemon stuff. They trade shinies in there and do I don't know
familiar.
What. But they are. It might be something from Pokemon. I'm not aware. But it's him. The main mods are him and another streamer named Sydney M Games is her handle, and they're building a really great, fun community that Ian and I have both been enjoying a lot, watching the streams, actually participating in the streams, not the extremes. Yeah. UNMEI. And participating in the Discord. And we've been making a lot of new internet type friends.
Nice.
And enjoying ourselves a lot and discovering other streamers through them and getting more into sort of the community aspect of Twitch in a much bigger way than I ever thought I would. And so I just wanted to give a shout out and just express that is something I've been enjoying quite a lot as well. So also shout out to Matt, Matty Pizza Table. If he's watching this, that's his name on Twitch.
If you're watching it on YouTube.
If he's watching this or listening to it, because he does listen sometimes, although not often because he has a million kids and now has a side hustle as a Twitch streamer. But
yeah,
as a kid, he has a side hustle as being a kid himself.
But it's been very fun, so I just thought it was worth mentioning.
Shout out to Matt and his pizza table.
And Sydney M Games. It's also fun because for some reason, just because it's the internet, the people in the Discord are not, I don't even know if they're majority from the US. There's Canadian people, there's people from, a lot of people from the UK, there's people from Belgium in there, so it's kind of neat to meet people from all over the world as well.
I like that about my job too. I'm in Zoom calls with students from all over the world sometimes.
Oh,
that is pretty cool. It's fun.
Yeah. A lot of international students at Harvard.
Zoom. Are they actively all over the world, or are they come from all over the world? Is that a stupid
both.
question?
No, because there's a lot. Because international students got priority for requests to come back on campus for the students that were allowed to come on campus. But a lot of them are still in their homes overseas. I think of there are 63 students in the class that I'm responsible for, and I think there are 11 or 12 that are actively international.
Pretty cool.
Actively.
Yeah, which is a pretty big percentage of that class.
Oh my god, Jack is not making a scene, okay, but he is cleaning his back right now, and he is making so much noise.
Kind of a scene.
Yeah, I mean, it's not enough noise that it's being picked up in the microphone, but it's enough noise to distract me.
It seems like it's up to the microphone, not you.
I just simply know. Okay. All right, should we pop in?
I think we should.
Sweet.
Hannah!
All right.
Oh no, I have one up front. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Okay. Chica's new EP came out. We talked about Chica. I even pulled it up in episode 133. This candle is fucking me up. She is an awesome musician, and her EP is really good. Her new EP is really good. It's called Once Upon a Time. Check it out.
I did not know that.
Yes.
I didn't either.
She was Grammy nominated for, I think, Best New Artist. And she's great. And her new EP is so fun. It's got this fairy tale theme. And the song Cinderella Part 1 is super fun. It's like she's at the ball and is like scoping on Cinderella, and the EP has like such great like bye vibes. It's so good. Check it out.
By the way, speaking of the Grammys, did you know that Billie Eilish, who is 19, has won 7 Grammys in the past 2 years?
That's insane. We like our Billie Eilish.
She's great. Mm-hmm. I just thought I'd give a quick shout out to how great Billie Eilish is.
Shout out to Billie Eilish.
Found out.
Wow, those are 2 great shout outs to 2 great musicians.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, continue, please. Thank you.
All right. So it's this is a moment where I humbly come to you with something that I know that you're probably not going to care about, and I like actively am not really encouraging people to watch it, but like in all honesty,
I know exactly what this is.
It is like the thing that I've wanted to watch after work every single day. I think partly it's related to this is a hint. You guys know. Partly it's related to the fact that we are in the process of selling our house and buying another house. Hopefully. So there is I'm thinking a lot about the process of buying a house lately. But there is a show.
Let Ben and I say what our guess is at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Ready? 3.
Fuck, I don't remember the title.
3, 2, 1.
Marriage or mortgage?
Mortgage. I said it the other way. I said mortgage or marriage. Fuck.
You said marriages or mortgage.
Yeah, because then I got. I can't say things at the same time over video calls.
Mortgage and marriage.
Which way is it? Which is the right one?
I think it's marriage or mortgage.
I think it's gotta be.
I think it's mortgage or marriage.
I think it's marriages and mortgages. So it's mermaids or porridge.
So this show came out in February of 2021 on Netflix. I just had a whole spiel a few weeks ago about how hate watching is bad and people shouldn't do it when a show is new and it encourages the wrong type of content. And then I was like, what's the harm if I watch one episode? And then I live tweeted the whole thing on our family Slack, which is how they already knew.
Yeah.
And then I just couldn't stop watching it. And so here I am humbly before you with a show that I hate watched. But I think it's fascinating because of the timing. And this was something I noticed in the first episode that continued to be true throughout the entire thing and raised the stakes to a degree that nobody in the show even realized, because they filmed this series at the end of 2019, I think about October of 2019. And so the weddings that they were, I'm sorry, let me explain the premise for anybody who doesn't know. So it's kind of clear from the title, but
it's mortgage or marriages.
Mortgages or marriages.
Could not be clearer.
So, and the whole premise I have a big problem with, which I will get to, but the idea is that there are two women. There's a wedding planner and a realtor who are like the co-hosts of the show. And they're like in a competition to win over a new couple each week who has like a chunk of money that they're going to either spend as the down payment on a house, or they're going to spend it, to pay for their entire wedding. And,
it's their own money.
It's their own money, or in like one case, it's their parents' money that they're giving them for one or the other.
So it's not even like show money.
No, it's not show money.
God, that's worse.
They have a wedding budget and they have a pre-approval amount for a house. And they're both based on the same chunk of money that the couple has in hand. So, and the whole premise is, okay, we can either have a wedding that costs usually around $30,000 or more, or we can buy a house, and we can't do both. Of course we can't do both, because because we either have to have our dream wedding or our dream house, and that's all that we can do. And so now we need help to decide which one we're going to do. And that entire premise is absolutely not correct. Like, that is not the case, that you can either have a $30,000 wedding or you can buy a $400,000 house. You can buy a starter home and have a $10,000 wedding. Like, there are types of loans that you can get where you don't have to have a down payment, which is like what we did. Like, I know everybody's situation is different, and I'm not saying that everybody could have done what we did, which was kind of a surprise to us that we were able to both have a wedding and buy our first house in the same year. Like, I didn't expect that to be something we were able to do, and I'm not like passing judgment on anyone who doesn't feel like they're able to do that. And if one is more important to you than the other, and that's where you want to spend your money, like, that's fine. Like, it's your life, do what you want. But creating this false dichotomy and then building an entire show around it and treating it as if it's a foregone conclusion, and there is like no middle ground in sight. Like, the show ignores the idea that a middle ground could even exist, to me is like harmful and wrong. Like, that it's not a message that we should be sending to people, that a wedding is worthless unless it costs $35,000, or a house is worthless unless it has every single thing that they could ever want. Like, that's not the case. So that's like baseline. That was my problem with it. That was like the first thing I was posting about incessantly. And then it comes to the end of the first episode of the show, and we come to realize, because the first couple, spoiler alert, I'm going to tell you what the first couple chose. The first couple chose marriage, okay? Which I was shocked about. I was stunned. Like, I actually think the majority of them chose marriage, which, like, I think is, because I've watched all of it now.
Also, I really resent the conflation between a wedding and a marriage. Like, you can't.
Yes, I hadn't even thought of that until this moment.
Yeah.
Like, they chose a wedding. Yeah, they didn't choose.
It doesn't take $30,000 to like have a good marriage. A good marriage is free $99.
Yeah, that is so true, and they absolutely do. And I recognize it's for the alliteration in the title, but it's still, it's not accurate. So the first couple chooses wedding, and then they have like the follow-up at the end, and I'm realizing in the follow-up, because they state it, that their wedding was supposed to be in the spring of 2020. And so they did have a wedding, but they delayed it, and they had to change their venue, and they had to cut down their guest list, and everybody was like, the seating was distanced, and a lot of people were wearing masks and stuff like that. And then we're like watching another episode, and we're realizing that like all of these weddings were supposed to be spring 2020 weddings, or at the most they were supposed to be summer 2020 weddings. So like, okay. Yikes. Marriage is like, I'm sorry, like the wedding choice, right, is clearly the worst choice. But I've been in that position before, and I understand that what I think happens is there's like the short-term gratification of this thing that feels very important to a lot of people. And I understand that. And like, I shouldn't begrudge anybody, like, you know, this quote unquote dream wedding, because like, we had a wedding. We spent like, you know, we spent money on it that we certainly could have saved towards a down payment instead. And we didn't really think about it. Like, and obviously it's harder to not think about it in this scenario than like when you haven't really been thinking about buying a house yet. But like, I mean, our situation was very weird, but like, I think part of what's coloring this is like, at the age and the life situation that we're all in, and like Ian and I were in watching it, like it's very clear to us that the prudent choice is a house. Mm-hmm. But I understand that like there's a lot of emotion in the wedding part and whatever. So, you know, in any normal year, like I would say like, okay, you know, weird choice, but okay. But in 2019, leading into the spring and summer of 2020, there has never been a clearer right choice. I mean, they didn't know that. They couldn't have known. But like the other part of it is like, besides the fact that dealing with having a wedding that's scheduled in 2020 was like I would not wish it on my worst enemy. But besides that, like also the housing market exploded because people like So these people who were on the show, most of them delayed until the fall, which means they were not looking for houses. If they had been, they would have noticed that the houses even the ones they had been shown while they were doing the show, the price of them had like skyrocketed already. It's only gone up from there. And most of them, like, you know, they have to have the stakes high. So the people that they chose are living in cramped living situations or not even in the same house currently. Like they're living separately or whatever. So so these people chose weddings that they then had to downsize significantly, move out, or potentially cancel. And then they probably won't be able to buy a house.
Live together
for a couple of years.
Chose the wedding over buying a fucking house.
Yes, there was a couple that did that. Yeah, they were the absolute worst ones.
They need to rename this show to like a single party or a shelter to like a literal place to live.
Yeah.
And like an investment in your fucking future.
Yeah. Even if this
something that will make you money. A lot more money.
I mean, next year at this point, because if they had chosen to buy a house in November of 2019, like even if they hated it, they could have sold it within a year and made thousands of dollars. Like, that they could have then spent on their dream wedding. They could have probably doubled their dream wedding budget if they chose house. They didn't know that, but it's just like fascinating. It's just so interesting. And
also, that apparently this whole reality show was just one giant super spreader event because apparently all those weddings happened
most
in
of
2020.
I think all but maybe one of the weddings happened. There was one where they did not do a follow-up at all, that they chose weddings, so I feel like maybe they canceled theirs. And there were several that were delayed. There were some, including the one for the absolute worst couple, which I do want to talk about a little more, that like we figured out later it happened in July of 2020. So at least it was a low point, I guess. They were supposed to have it in May, and they moved it to July.
Kind of. I have a friend who was supposed to get married in July of 2020 and canceled it. That was when they were already planning on it. Yeah,
Ian has a cousin who was too. She was supposed to get married in July 2020, and they moved it to July of this year. So
actually, my friend who did that had gotten legally married a while ago, and this was just like the wedding, the actual like wedding ceremony and party and everything, but he had done like a town hall wedding a while ago.
A single party.
If I'm remembering correctly, there was one of all the couples that chose wedding, there was one couple who managed to fit in their wedding right before it was a February wedding, and I think it was planned that way, and so it was beautiful, and they just got in right under the wire. Everyone else moved it out to varying degrees. Most of them had to choose their venue. They all had messages about what they did about it. The only couple that like didn't have any like you barely saw a mask in sight, but you saw one in the distance every now and then, was the absolute worst couple on the show, which are the ones who lived separately. They were like in their early 20s and like high school sweethearts. Oh, also the way they met was that she friend zoned him for years in high school, and then eventually she realized he was the one and he got out of the friend zone. Like that was the whole like great meet cute.
How romantic.
Yikes. And they were really, really concerned with making everything like as Instagrammable as possible. And we later figured out that they have like a family vlogging channel already, but like just the two of them, but like they treat it like a family vlogging channel. They don't have many subscribers.
Ben's face is true the whole time right now.
And also, here's another fun fact. I went and like stalked their YouTube channel. In May of 2020, which is when they were supposed to be getting married, as a consolation to themselves for having to move out their wedding, they decided to take like a 4-day long vacation down to Florida from Tennessee. They apparently
in May of 2020.
Yes, there was a ban for a while on renting out like Airbnbs in Florida, and then that was lifted. And apparently the day the ban was lifted, they booked their Airbnb and headed down there.
Wow, truly the worst.
Yeah, and I didn't ever see a mask on them. I have a feeling that they don't believe in them. So they were terrible, hated everything about them, could not stand them, screamed at the television the whole time.
Do you feel like maybe this show will serve as like a sobering view into like why it's so unhealthy to make choices like that? Do you feel like there's any upshot or bright side?
I would read a whole book written about this show and the people on it. I would write it if I felt I had the time to do so. Like I think in and of itself, it was doing absolutely the most it could to not acknowledge that COVID had impacted anything about the production.
That's unfortunate.
But I think an analysis of it from someone who was kind of watching it like we were, where we were like, oh, I wonder if, like, we were basically, first we were guessing whether or not they were going to choose wedding. Then we would guess whether or not they were going to like acknowledge COVID for their wedding or whatever. And like, oh, I mean, this couple seems like they'll have masks, right? Like that kind of thing. Like, so I think it's a fascinating time capsule and like worthy of deep analysis. And yeah, I also think it is like, I just think it's really interesting because like maybe it does say something about like the society that we live in and maybe how much this is like, do you think a lot of people, like if they were filming this show now or like later this year, right? Would the percentages flip of people who would choose mortgage versus marriage? Like, assuming the housing market wasn't so insane, like taking that out of the picture, all things being equal, but 2020 having happened to everybody, do you think that maybe we as a culture have learned to appreciate like long-term investments or planning more? I don't know.
No. Absolutely. Did you see how we as a culture handled fucking having to stay home and wear a mask for a few months?
Yeah.
And just failed at it miserably?
Yeah.
No, we're just as like obsessed with short-term gratification as ever, if not more, because we feel like we deserve it for some reason, even though we've failed as a society at a pretty fucking simple task that a lot of societies around the world have not failed at.
Yeah, it was kind of shocking that there was almost no one who apparently didn't cancel their wedding.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's maybe just the type of people that they find for shows like this.
Yeah, or was there some level of
that's the
pressure
other
from
thing.
the production?
I mean,
I don't know.
Maybe, I think also like people put a lot of like value on their wedding, and not that anyone shouldn't, because it's obviously like a big deal, but I don't know, I feel like it's just such a culturally where I feel like we're so pressured to have it be, the big perfect thing and spend so much money on it. And I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Yeah, I mean, like from just to try to approach it a little more empathetically, which is part of what I think Ben's trying to do. Like I did say to Ian several times, like last year, and also during when we were watching this show, that like I really feel for people who had weddings scheduled for sometime in 2020.
Oh yeah,
because it's a really tough position to be in, because it's like, okay, you are, so yeah, the thing that you really, really want could also be a super spreader event, could be very dangerous to your family, but if you cancel it, you're also like putting a lot of the vendors that you have, engaged in like a really tough spot. Maybe a lot of them don't want to be doing that at that point, but if some of them are still like reaching out and trying to keep you in various ways, like do you feel pressure from the other direction, and trying to rework all of that and figure out what all the logistics of getting your money back or changing dates or all those things.
It's a lot of moving pieces.
It's a lot. It's planning a wedding is a lot, and then to think about unplanning it or rescheduling everything about it. I can't imagine what that was like. I'm sure it really, really, really sucked. But yeah, it was the right thing to do, and I have a ton of respect for everybody who did it.
Yeah.
So not a ton of respect for a lot of these people. But like, okay, for example, our wedding was at a campground, right? I would have struggled with that because that was a place where it would have been very possible to remain isolated. It would have been very possible to keep almost everything outside. Not everything. I think we probably still would have canceled it.
Yeah.
But like,
that's pretty rough because I get real kissy when I've been drinking. So
like you couldn't have done everything outside and it wouldn't have worked, but it would have been, you know, it's tough.
And I think once, you know, if there's alcohol there too, like that was a joke, but also not, right? Like,
yeah,
that would have been, that would have been really, really tough.
Yeah.
Especially people traveling from out of town and everything.
Yeah, that's the thing when anytime people are like, oh, we had a party, but it was socially distanced. I'm like, oh, okay. What does that mean to you? Like, how do you remember all of it? Or like, you can just
do you remember all?
Just stating that something is socially distanced doesn't make it safe. Just the same as having a mask on you doesn't make you safe. You have to wear it on your face. Like,
Speaking of Hannah's wedding, this is tangential to that, but Erin, did we tell you? Do you remember at Hannah's wedding how Lucas twisted his ankle really badly?
I don't know. I didn't realize that happened.
Yeah, it happened while he and I were walking somewhere. I don't remember where, and then like
they were bringing our stuff out to our cabin.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we were bringing like Hannah and Ian's luggage out there or something, and then we walked like the whole way there.
It's like a mile
on a dirt path in the dark for like a mile.
Yeah.
And then we get there, and he twisted his ankle on the stoop of the door.
Oh my god!
It was like truly at the last leg of the journey.
Oh my god!
And then we had to like walk back the whole way with him like around my like his arm over me. But anyway, his ankle's like never really been
the same
since then.
Wow.
And he apparently like recently went to the doctor and learned that like he's had a slightly torn tendon or something for like years.
I think he said he had two. Like two of the three ligaments in his ankle were torn.
Jesus Christ!
It's not ligaments, not tendons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So sorry about that,
and
Lucas.
So it's like probably never going to be the same because it's been like that for
6 years.
He really fucked it up. Jesus Christ! He must have been in a lot of pain. I didn't realize that happened. Wow.
It would appear I've torn 2 of the 3 ligaments in my ankle and will be on the slow road to recovery for some time now. It may require some level of reconstructive surgery in the future too.
Holy shit!
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Yeah.
It like makes me worried because when I was in high school, because like ankle like sprains and injuries like that can really do like last for a long time. And like I twisted my ankle in junior year of high school during baseball season and like couldn't play the rest of the season. And then I don't know, like that ankle has also, it's never been as like bad as Lucas's has kind of consistently been, but it's also like never really been totally all right again. It's like definitely more sensitive. I'm like
just
scared
see a doctor, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It was a fun wedding though.
It was fun.
It was a good wedding.
It was a good time.
But yeah.
I have one more thing to say about marriage and mortgage.
Okay.
As words. They both have kind of hidden, like, what I would consider, like, weird, redundant letters in the middle of it. Like, marriage, that I always trips me up. And then mortgage, that T. Like, we don't say either of those letters. Am I right? Who's with me?
Sonar Card Gauge does.
Dominic.
Sonar Card Gauge, mortgage.
Dominic just brought up that from Homestar Runner on Wednesday, literally on Wednesday.
Oh.
I have a lot of Homestar Runner always kicking around in my head.
Yeah, that's true. I do too. Shout out homestarrunner.com.
I think the one that's I say the most often is, did you just say doing?
Yeah.
Mine
well,
are.
you spelled it the same.
Mine are bulleted and somebody's a touching my butt. And also, which is blue.
What is this? Some kind of witch's blue?
That's Homestar Runner. If you don't know Homestar Runner, it's just like look it up and have a great time. Thank you very much.
You can't go to homestarrunner.com anymore because it's all Flash.
Yeah, I just went there today, asshole. Just like have a better computer.
Yeah, but it's gonna be phased out soon.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, because Flash is like no longer supported anywhere.
But I was just on HomeStarRunner.com today.
I know, because there's still some backwards compatibility, but there's not going to be forever. However, like all of the videos are on YouTube. On HomeStarRunner's YouTube channel, like all of them are. So
listen, it's going to be fine. And there's going to be like some application you'll be able to download that to like go to Flash sites. It's totally fine. There's going to be a browser. Yeah. Somebody's going to make a browser to watch. Like it's going to be called HomeStarRunner browser.
There's a note about it on the website. It says, hold on. Strong Bad is talking. I don't know how to make him stop.
Oh, look at that.
Okay,
there's what is the big play button, you ask?
Yeah, go ahead, read it.
Well, Flash is all kinds of dead, but the amazing Ruffle project helps our cartoons live on.
See?
Not every cartoon and game works perfectly just yet, so be patient and expect some jankiness here and there while we keep it working. Cool.
Look at that.
It lives on.
It lives on.
Do they still update it?
I feel like maybe recently they'd been releasing some new videos, but I could be wrong.
Every now and then.
Huh?
Every now and then they have like usually a speed mail, I think.
HomeStarRunner just captures such a specific like part of my childhood, you know? It just like brings me there nostalgically.
Yeah. Oh, another one I say all the time is, you look burnt or dead.
Oh, fuck. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, that's my obsession. Thanks for everything. Erin, what's your obsession?
Good obsession. Do you want to round that out somehow? Is this like a don't watch the show, like don't watch not even one kind of thing? Like I feel like I need a little more closure from you on this.
I mean,
do you regret watching it? Are you happy you watched it?
Honestly, I don't.
Was there any choice?
Do you want to like say sorry?
Yeah. Well, did you ever have any choice in the matter? Like, I feel like it just you didn't ever have any choice in the matter.
I would say, okay, if this doesn't sound like something you want to watch all of, then don't watch one episode of it because you'll want to watch all of it. I would say if it's something that sounds like you like interesting to you, then please watch all of it and then talk to me about it, because I just want to it's just I don't know. I can't not recommend it. I mean, like, I know I said I didn't. I don't want them to make more seasons of it, but I want the people around me to watch this season. So I don't know what to do about that. I have no closure on what you on what that means.
Okay.
I feel guilty about it, but
I see.
I want other people to see it so they can talk to me about it, because
I
think it's fascinating.
You don't have closure for me because you don't have closure for yourself.
Yeah. So just let me know if you watch it. I'm not going to tell you one way or the other, but like, please, if you do watch it, let me know. Anybody listening, or you too also. Anybody.
I'm not going to watch it.
I'm definitely not going to watch it either.
All right.
There's like zero chance. But I support you.
Erin, what's your obsession?
All right. I think you'll think this is funny, but this is like my true obsession. This is not a repeat, but based on something Ben casually said in the last episode, my obsession has been Baumgartner's fine art restoration.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, to go into a little more depth, this is a YouTube channel where this guy, Julian Baumgartner, am I saying his name right?
I think so.
Who runs, it's like a second generation fine art restoration shop in Chicago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's his dad do it. His dad do it.
His dad do it.
His dad do it.
His dad do it too. Then he do it.
He doesn't talk a lot about his dad. His dad died like when he was like 65. When his dad was 65, it seems like pretty.
Sorry. It's so funny that his dad died.
It's not funny. Did I say that?
No. I laughed at how you said it, but it's
I know.
was just laughing at the fact that he died.
Yeah, no. His dad died when his dad was 65, which seems sad. And he doesn't talk a lot about his dad, but what he's only ever said like slightly disparaging things, which made me feel like his dad was probably kind of like a crack the whip kind of guy. But I feel like in this field, you kind of have to be. So he takes these like fine art paintings, like these oil paintings, like these very expensive pieces of art that have been damaged and or are just really dirty, and just like cleans them, restores them, touches them up, and like brings them back into like a pristine condition. And it's just a really interesting and soothing channel. When there is music, so they're usually like 30 or 40 minutes long. It's very gratifying. There's a lot of very gratifying aspects to every single video, and I will go through them. Number one, Julian's got this like really soothing voice. He's just he's kind of like nerdy, but in this very like, he's been doing this for a long time. I think he like, he went to school for it, but also like he grew up in the shop with his dad doing it, and like was only allowed to like observe for like years, and then like took over. So he's been doing this for, I think he's about 40, but he's been doing this for like, he mentions like 20 plus years. So, so he's a man who's like number one, knows his craft like inside and out, and number two, and is very confident about it, and then also very knowledgeable about it, and opinionated about it, and then also just like narrates every video as if it's like the first time, so you can hop into any video and get all the context, which is super nice. And even that repetition is very soothing. So even when I watch like, I don't know, 6 in a row, it's very soothing.
You're like, what kind of solids are you gonna use on this one?
I know. Or I can like be like, oh, he's going to use the washi kozo to efface this one. Oh, he's not! Okay, Julian! Like, so I kind of, there's this rhythm to it, and it's at the point where, like, if you were to put, a dirty oil painting in front of me, I would be like, here are the rough steps to clean it, okay? Here's what we're going to do. But I wouldn't. But it's so that's soothing. His voice is soothing, and narration and the style of narration is soothing. He does like these videos are like sponsored, and so there's always like a really dorky, awkward like lead in where he's like, "It's important, good representation. It's important to represent yourself well, which is why I like to use Squarespace." And then it goes on a Squarespace ad or whatever. That's not as soothing, but. Just like, so the narration is soothing and consistent, and sometimes, when he cleans a painting, he almost does so with like a big Q-tip, and does it like really slowly with these solvents, and the effect sometimes is really drastic and incredibly satisfying, and so sometimes he'll kind of speed it up a little bit and be like, I've been talking for a while, so I'm going to go to get a glass of water, and I'm going to leave you guys here to watch the rest of this cleaning, and let's say I'll put on a little Bach, and he'll like put on some Bach, and you can just watch him clean the rest of the painting, which is really gratifying. And so that's really interesting, and also just like the level of detail, just like the extreme detail and precision that is involved in like cleaning and repairing a piece of fine art or a painting. Number one, it's super interesting because it's like all about chemistry. Like you use a bunch of chemicals to like do shit to it, but he knows like, oh, this solvent won't, damage his painting, or he'll use different like dilutions of solvents on different colors. Like that's really interesting. And also just like sometimes he has to like scrape little bits off of like huge canvases. So there are aspects of it where you're like, this seems soothing. I think I would like to do this. And then there are other times where you're like, fuck this.
And then you're like, that one little section probably took like hours.
Yeah. But he's just like it's just fascinating to me because I don't have that personality type of like being able to just like sit there and do a thing for that long in silence. Like he doesn't always work in silence. He mentioned like sometimes he'll do a podcast, but when he's filming, he'll do it in silence. And then like he's been doing these, videos for so long. It's kind of like the carpet cleaning one. It has that same kind of vibe to it. Like Ben was saying originally, like the camera angles are very intentional. There's a lot of like gratifying things he'll work in, like when he's accumulated a lot of dust, he'll dust it into the camera, which you like. And so that's really great. And then just it's interesting to see the art. It's interesting to see the transformation of when it comes into the studio. It's very like rewarding to see like these nice pieces of art that, you know, somebody very skilled worked on a long time ago, and they used imperfect materials because those were the best that they had at the time, like varnishes that were made of resin that just like deteriorate and yellow over time, and just like brings these paintings back to life and really honors the paintings. And he like takes great care with each one and has like respect for it and respect for all the materials involved. It's just like very, I don't know, it just seems like a very put together thing. I
think one of my favorite things is when he there's like paint missing from sections and he has to like repaint it, and it's fascinating how like scientific he is about it, because his goal is not to like be artistic himself. His goal is to replicate what the initial artist intended. And so he like really tries to make sure he's like matching their brush strokes and like getting the color exactly right and like matching whatever style they were using, which I think is like so interesting, because he has to the job requires knowing like a lot of like science and stuff, and also knowing like art history to some degree, and like what things are kind of appropriate, because you also like, it's just so cool. Like it's art history plus just like history of like how art was maintained over the years in order to, because he always knows like based on the age of the painting what they probably use to like what kind of varnish or whatever, which I think is so cool. Yeah, there's like a special kind of satisfaction beyond just like he's doing satisfying things with like how much he knows about it, which is really cool, and how well he communicates it.
Yeah, and like it's cool because everything he does is fully reversible. It's like not that it's undoable, it's like completely reversible. Like you could get it back into, you know, its original state, you know, obviously minus all the damage. Like all the glue he uses, all the paint, all the varnishes, absolutely everything is completely reversible, in case, you know, his like number one priority is that whoever owns the art, that his clients can, if they don't like the way he retouched it, you can bring it somewhere else and that painting can be restored back to its original version. Yeah, like in one episode, I don't know, one video, he like, the painting had like a really prominent texture to it, and so he made like a mold of like some of the texture, and then like put that texture on the areas that were missing, so that when he did the retouching, it like had consistent texture, which is just like all these like little details, right? That just like maybe not a single human being will ever notice. And that's kind of the point. And that's the same kind of philosophy he does with his retouching. It's like, it's not supposed to be heavy-handed. It's supposed to look, you're supposed to just not notice it when you're standing, like, you know, at an appropriate distance from the painting. Like the goal is to let the repairs just, you know, blend in. So anyway, been watching a lot of those, y'all.
That's really cool. I'll check it out this week. I mentioned it to Ian, and he was like, oh yeah, I've seen them before. And so we didn't watch any. But now that you've recommended it.
He does a nice tour. He has a nice video where he kind of tours his art studio. Or his studio, which is gratifying. And he also like built a lot of his like the tools that he uses. Like he uses this big hot table for a lot of things, and he like built it. And he, like, custom built this other thing. So it also requires, in addition to, like, what Ben was saying, like, art history and, like, chemistry, it also, there's, like, woodworking involved. He's got, like, a whole woodworking setup. So there's just, like a lot of specific skills kind of all blended into this thing that he does. It's really cool.
Do you want up here?
Wow. Jack's causing a scene.
He's not. He's being nice.
Yeah, he's being nice. So he's one step away from causing a scene.
He probably wants to climb up on my shoulder. Have you guys ever seen him do this?
I only send constant pictures of it and cute pictures, which I'm not complaining about. I'm just pointing out.
But okay, I don't know if he's going to do it. I don't know. He was making me nervous because he was eyeing the candle, but I think he's good. Well, that's beautiful. I'm going to watch it.
Thanks. I made them.
Great obsession, Erin.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all.
Crusty boy. Sweet.
I feel like I have one other thing. No, I feel like I was gonna tell Ben something. I don't know. Hi, Ben. I don't know.
Hey, what's up?
That's all.
Sweet. Well, Ben, what's your obsession?
My obsession is truly just one song.
Oh, great.
And so I think we should listen to it since it is only one song.
I love it. Yes.
Let me send a link. And it's like kind of this artist, but mostly this one song.
Okay.
And then we don't have to put the
Great.
whole song in the podcast, but it might be nice for all of us to listen to it.
I do know this song. I know a very particular portion of it,
Yeah.
which makes me think it's from TikTok.
Nope.
Oh.
Well, maybe. I mean, it might be popular on TikTok, but that's not where I thought you'd know it from. Okay, so this song is called "Think About Things," and it's by, I'm gonna try to say the name right. Dani. It's like, oh, fuck. That letter. I looked it up. That letter is pronounced like kind of. So it's like Dandi.
Okay.
Kind of. That's like wrong. It's Icelandic, so I don't fucking know. And then in parentheses it's Dadni o Gagna Magnith, whatever.
So just
Which is
Google
like-
it.
I mean, so it's, I think like in English people call him Dadi Frere. And Dadi Gagna Magnith is like him and his friends basically in that band. And this was Iceland's 2020 Eurovision song. Oh. Do you guys know what Eurovision is?
Yes.
No.
Because this is like I'm not really obsessed with it, but it's like a slight thing that came out of this and was relevant for how I learned the song. So the story is, and Hannah knows it now, I think. She's figured it out. She's figured out the whole thing. The Mabim Bam got a new theme song written by an Australian singer named Montaigne, who is, it's very good. And she is Australia's contestant in Eurovision this year, and also was last year, as was Dadi Frere is this year, is also for Iceland. And Eurovision, as background, is this song competition that all the European countries and then some other non-European countries like Australia and Israel participate in. And it's been going on for a long time, which I did not realize until I started looking, like, since like the 50s.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
It's run by the European Broadcasting Union, and basically like every country decides on one musician and one song that they're going to submit to like this 3-day contest. And then there's like the big 5 countries who are like automatically in the final round, which I think is like Spain, France, the UK, Germany. I don't know what the other ones are. Italy. And then there's a plus the host country of whatever year it's in is automatically into the final round. And then there's like 2 semifinal rounds that are the first 2 days of the competition. And basically every country has like a live performance of their song in this. Last year was supposed to be in Rotterdam before it got canceled because of COVID. They all perform their song, and then I think it's basically like live voting, like American Idol-esque, from like all the people watching from all these different countries.
Jeez, wow.
I first heard about it in high school because it was just like a thing that some people at my high school paid attention to, probably because we had a lot of teachers from Europe. Maybe is how it like came in, because they're an international baccalaureate school. But yeah, so I heard about them, but I never really paid attention to it like at all, except for like when I saw, I think Israel's performance was really funny a few years ago or something, or like surprising in some way. I don't remember. But anyway, fast forward to this year, Bam Bam gets Australia's Eurovision contestant to write their theme song because she's a huge fan.
Write the theme tune, sing the theme tune.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they also had her on the show this week, and we're talking to her like about Eurovision and stuff, and who she was like most worried about, who she wanted to take down in the competition. And she brought up this guy. She didn't say his name. She said I think she said the Iceland contestant, and they played a little bit of this song because Justin also knew it, was like, yeah, that song's really fucking good. Yeah, and by the way, Montaigne's Eurovision song this year is called Technicolour, and it's also really good. I was like intermittently obsessed with both of those songs this week, but ultimately more obsessed with this one. And one thing I really like about this song is, for one, the video is really funny, and I just enjoy that. Mm-hmm. And also the song itself is kind of funny and like really cute once you know the story behind it, because he had a kid in like the end of 2019. And this song is basically like written to his baby, like a literal baby.
Now I remember it from the band.
And like that's why like the first lyric is like, though I know I love you, I find it hard to see how you feel about me because I don't understand you. So like I love how in the first part he's like playing with the whole I don't understand women thing. Yeah. And then he's like, oh, you are yet to learn how to speak.
And then later on he's talking about like the three of us. And I was like, what is
it? Three birds of a feather. I just hope you enjoy our company. Yeah. It's like really sweet. It's just like a genuinely sweet song, but it's also so funky and like so fucking good.
Wow.
And it's just a great hook. Like, I can't wait to know, what do you think about things? I mean, it's very sweet once you...
Yeah, exactly. Like it's kind of, it almost sounds like that's the other thing I love. Like it sounds like some kind of like a mistranslation at first. Yeah. Because you're like, what does that mean? But they're like, oh yeah, you're like talking to your kid. You're like, I can't wait to see what you think about stuff in the world. It's gonna be so cool. Yeah.
I had the same thought. I was like, that's a cute kind of, mistranslation or, bad translation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, it's just a good song. I just love it.
That's so nice.
I love it listening to it, knowing that story a lot more too. It's really fun. And their whole like aesthetic for Dottie and Gogdamagnik is they have like these bright green sweaters that we were talking about a little bit at the beginning with, and it's like I think it's what they wear and like perform all the time. They have bright green sweaters, like pixel art versions of themselves
so cute.
On the sweaters, which is really fun. Yeah, and his wife is one of them. One of the people he was performing with. I don't know which one. I think maybe the one in the back on like the left, not the one that's like not a backup singer. I don't know. But yeah, so I've been listening to this song a lot. It's really annoying Kylie how much I'm singing it. But I just can't help it. I really like it a lot. I also really like Technicolour by Montaigne and would like to shout that out as a song you should listen to also. Oh, and like I mentioned, so Eurovision 2020 got canceled, which this song was supposed to be entered in. And I think I don't know what, I didn't listen to I listened to some of the other Eurovision songs, so like maybe I like all the Eurovision stuff, and I don't like a lot of it. I don't like that much. But I mean, I listened to a lot of the Eurovision 2020 songs, and this was better than most of them. Like, I think it had a good chance, which kind of sucks. And then like apparently a few days after Eurovision 2020 was canceled, the European Broadcasting Union announced that 2020 songs would not be eligible for 2021.
Wow.
But it seems like most countries selected the same musician for 2021. Like Dottie Freyr's representing Iceland again. Montaigne was Australia's in 2020 also with a different song, and she's representing them in 2021 again, which is kind of nice to get a second chance. His 2021 song is also really good. It's just not as addictive as this one. It's called 10 Years.
I think that's stupid that they're not allowing this really
yeah, because this song should win.
Yeah, they're stupid.
It's good.
I did see, every like couple of years, I get it in my head that, man, I think I would really be obsessed with Eurovision if I ever really dug into it.
Yeah, same.
But then when I go and try to listen to the song, it's like there's like the rare, like exciting one, and I know that the performances tend to be really over the top and wild, and it's like a big like appointment TV type event in Europe and in participating countries. But like a lot of the songs are just disappointing. They're very like old fashioned, a lot of them kind of. But
Yeah, like I was listening to the 2021 playlist because they put out a Spotify playlist every year of all the songs, and a few of like the Baltic countries like Lithuania and Latvia. Actually, Lithuania's I think was really good, but there was like a Latvian one that was like sounded just like a super basic rock song, and I was like, no, that was Italy's actually. Was like just like a super basic rock song, and I was like, wow, this is boring. And then others are just like England's is just like a very standard pop song that's like not that exciting, but then you get these gems every now and again. So maybe I should I stopped listening to the playlist after a bit. Maybe I should listen to all of it. I do feel like I would enjoy watching Eurovision.
Yeah, I think it could be really fun to watch live. I also wonder...
It is happening this year.
Yeah, I also wonder how they pick them, or if it... I think probably every country can choose it however they want to.
That's every country, I think, does it differently. I think a lot of them have, like, mini Eurovisions, but in their country, like song contests in their country. That's what
That's neato.
That's what Iceland has. That's how Daddy Freyr got on. I think he like participated in it for a few years without winning, and then won last year.
I always feel like maybe I'll learn something from about the character of a country by watching their Eurovision songs. And I feel like maybe in aggregate, maybe you would, and especially if it's like a competition within the country first, then maybe you could like kind of learn something about, I don't know, just kind of their aesthetic, or like...
I feel like I can learn a lot about a country by listening to one song.
I'm really good at learning things, so I think I probably could.
I feel like I know a lot about Lithuania because I listened to one song from Lithuania.
Yeah.
Ask me anything.
That's cool. That song is beautiful, and
it's great.
Did not remember where I heard it, so thanks for telling the story.
Something is tickling my brain to make me feel like Molly shared this one time in some channel. So Molly, if you're this whole time we're like, I told you about that, somebody. Not sure.
I mean, it has been out for like over a year, and this video has 25 million views, so it definitely is a chance
that could be misplaced. So sorry either way, Molly.
Either way.
But yeah, that's me.
Cool. Good one, Ben. That's nice. That's a good solid obsession. That's what I would call a solid obsession.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks. Yeah,
well, that's what I call music.
That's what I call music.
Solid
77.
Obsession.
Also, if you were wondering after watching that video, Daddy Freyr is extremely tall. It's not that everyone else is very short.
Oh.
He's 6'10".
Oh,
really? Wow. That's taller than Tony
'cause
Robbins.
Can you imagine? I just feel like everyone else looks so short in that video.
Yeah.
But no, he's just giant. He's just ginormous.
Fuck Tony Robbins.
Fuck Tony Robbins. Can I ask a question? Can I pee before you do homework? I know we're so close to the end of the podcast, but I would just be so much more comfortable.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you're really dancing around there a lot. So why don't you go ahead?
6'10". Wow. It's taller than Tony Robbins.
I have another up front. I'm out back. That just my yelling from the bathroom that's taller than Tony Robbins reminded me that, what were we talking about? Oh, when we were talking about Mystery Show. Twice when we were talking about Mystery Show, Ben kind of just like murmured something, and we were listening to it. Molly and I listened to the podcast together where we clean the kitchen. Ben murmured something, and I laughed, and Molly said, "What does he say?" And I was like, "Fat rip." But it was like twice you murmured something. Twice Molly was like, "What did he say?" And twice the answer was, "Fat rip." And she was just laughing so much at that. Fat rip. You were just like, we were talking about how it got canceled early and how good it was, and you were just like, fat rip.
Do you know that's a Kylie's sister original?
Really? It's so good.
Yeah. We started saying that a lot because I forget what context it was. Kylie's texting her sister. It's something where she was like, "Man, fat rip."
Oh, man.
It's really good.
It's so good.
Fat rip.
I thought that was just a thing that people your age said. I didn't know that was just a you and Kylie and her family.
I mean, it may be a thing that people Kylie's sister's age say and we didn't know about. But I like to think that it's a Kylie's sister original.
Fat rip. Yeah, I'm not going to bust this bubble. Love it. Fat rip.
Yeah, I've never Googled it, actually.
Yeah, don't. Love it. It's fun.
Homework. Should we do homework?
Yeah, thanks for letting me pee, everybody.
It was
Is that your homework?
No.
my homework.
I mean, please do. If you see me, let me pee. If I need to.
Let her be. Let her live.
Let him live.
My
I just
homework
pinch myself in the boob. What's your homework?
is confusing to me, as stated earlier in the episode. I guess if you want to watch Marriage or Mortgage, it is on Netflix. I'm not going to tell you to do it or not do it. My homework is talk to me about it if you watch Marriage or Mortgage, please. Mortgage or Marriage. Whatever. It's Mortgage.
Mortgage or merge?
Marriage or... I don't know which one it is. You'll find it.
Merge.
It's being pushed right now. You'll find it if you go on Netflix. And I'm also on Twitter and Instagram at Anthropology. I'm at 2BroadPod on... No, I'm not. That's the podcast. Sorry. I'm on TikTok at Hannah and her cats. And I don't know why Ian texted me this. I think I might have said it wrong. The Discord is called Isle of Unmay. ISLE of UNMEI. And I just Googled it, and it appears to be like an original. I don't think it's actually from anything. But it's very nice. And relatedly, I stream Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. with our friends Matt and Andrea and Ian at Maddie Pizza Table on Twitch. And we're playing through Majora's Mask right now. And it's really fun. So come join us if you feel like it. Erin, what's your homework?
Hello. My homework's to let me pee if I have to and you're near me. My homework otherwise is to check out Baumgartner's fine art restoration. Let me get a spelling for you. I don't have it up. Baumgartner. He's also on Instagram. BAUMGARTNER. Restoration. That's RESTORATION. The YouTube channel is called Baumgartner Restoration, and it's great. Any channel is great. Just hop right in. Bold and the Beautiful is great. Giving Life to the Alien Part 1 and 2, very fine. So anyway, check them all out. They're so nice, so great. And watch a few, and then go on his fine art restoration studio tour. I think it'll be more meaningful if you watch a few videos first and get emotionally invested, and then do that. Okay, great. Thanks.
Great. Ben, what's your homework?
My homework is listen to Think About Things by Dottie Frere.
Baby.
And also Technicolour by Montaigne, because it's really good.
Okay.
In the new Mabim Bam.
And maybe watch Eurovision with me.
Okay.
I don't know. It's in May.
It's in May?
Yes.
I would watch it with you. I would do a watch party.
Sure.
I may.
I don't know what if it's on, because if it's on like prime time in like Central Europe, that's like 5 or 6 hours ahead. So it'd be like 3 or 4 p.m. here. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's a perfectly reasonable time.
Great time.
Probably on a weekend, I would imagine. So it's pretty good.
When is Eurovision?
Oh, it's not on a weekend. It's like in the middle of the week, I think.
Yeah.
My
Tuesday
Twitter is
Saturday.
nicely proved Ben. My Twitch is Disco Greg.
Neat. Neato.
What'd you say? Tuesday through Friday?
So just take some time off.
All right. So just take some time off work in the middle of May. Sure.
But what time?
That's actually honestly that is like right after the semester ends, so that's not a bad time for me to take time off
great.
work. Not that I'm going to take like 4 days off to watch Eurovision, but
You can have it on in the background.
I may just take time off anyway.
Yeah, you can play it in the background. Cool. Yeah. So if you want to call us or text us, leave us a voicemail. Let us know if you're gonna take time off to watch Eurovision, or if you're in Europe and you love Eurovision, or if you watch Marriage or Mortgage. Just please anybody. You can do that at our phone number, which is 774-326-0420.
Blaze it.
Blaze it. But don't
Blaze it, but don't double blaze it.
blaze it.
You know what? Double blaze it if you want to. We've been in the pandemic for a year. Like, you know what? If that brings you happiness, then you know what? Dial blaze it.
Oh, wow.
Fuck around. Find out.
Fuck around and find out about
You fucking idiot.
Blaze it. Yeah. Be free. Okay, we're on Twitter at TooBroadPod. We're on Instagram at WayTooBroad. You can email us, waytoobroad@gmail.com. You can find all this contact information, our topic index, some beautiful web design by our very own Erin at waytoobroad.com for anything you want. earnben.com for anything you need. maxfun.org for a sweet dog on the ocean. And that's it. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much for listening.
We love you.
We love you.
The podcast candle
We love you, and we want you to dial blaze.
is now extinguished. Bye.
Bye.
Dial blaze it.